Greetings, Hollywood. This is Aurora Mid of New Creation, and we're having a special cheers for Californian Union's 2018 Crafters Daring and Elegant Red Blend. It's a premium wine with snakes and bones. Did you see, you guys? Watch. San Diego, California. It's got darling and elegant juicy flavors of blackberry jam, chocolate, vanilla, and spice. And I'm having 2.5 glasses of wines now in honor of you. Greetings to my Mosaic church goers. I love you all with all of my heart. Thanks for everything you've done, you guys. I've had to take this detour to undo the Bible Belt programming. It has been absolute madness. Beware, you guys. Be very careful. Do not trust demons. They'll always be demons and they don't get it. Now, I don't have the certification that you all are not all demons because I couldn't know yet. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is really strange. I have no idea what you're thinking. You're all mathematician, plagiarizing, politician, including the children, which I'm trying, but I don't understand. I mean, I'm more evolved than Jesus because I'm in a female form. So my Jesus days, can only do so much. I'm very grateful this time around that I'm not a masculine, so they can't really brutalize me as such. But they've brutalized me in the most possible ways as a feminine. And it was really fascinating. If you could now I'm working on removing all ego mind, so identifying things on the outside. I legit woke up in this gym place today where I signed down as Aurora Morningstar. But, my initiation here was Aurora Diamond Rainbow, and I only acquired the Morningstar after I was courageous enough to stand up and walk for myself for Aurora Diamond Rainbow, and I stood up to the radicalists and to their guns and to their threats and to everything. And it was only later that I acquired the Morningstar. I had already been to Los Angeles, back to Miami many times. And then when InMotion Hosting chose to mess me up, when I lost my connection to the internet, which they created out of me when I was a kid with the Jacob neighbor. Yaoub was his name. He had 2 sons, and they stole my tech to create the internet out of me. And then his children kept me tracked for years. And every MacBook Pro that I've ever bought is by those kids. So they're the building here in Alcar where they kept me as a kid. I was on the 5th, but then I used to go up to the 6th to just walk, and I used to frolic with death every day. So I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. I used to walk on the borders of the building with my cats, obviously. So we had Tigrou was the first cat. He came to me at Saint Jesus and Mary Church, meaning school. And this cat was beautiful and gray with very long hair. And he followed me from Jesus and Mary School. I was on my bicycle. I've always been a bike girl. To my home. And he rode up like the elevator or stairs with me. And he would never let me go. So Tigrou was like the most special cat ever. Everybody remembers her at No Tigrou. I was wearing an Everlast shirt. And my last pictures was Tigrou. And we went on the rooftop together a lot. And then don't ask me how they disappeared, because I can't give you an account to that. But then Claire appeared, which was my next feminine cat. Tigrou was masculine. Claire appeared amongst on the 6th floor where we keep the chimneys wood for making fires. And she hid in the woods, and then she gave birth to 2 little kittens that became my own because she died. A car ran over Claire. And then I had croissant and chocolat. So chocolate and croissant were my kittens. Croissant was a blonde white cat with green eyes, hazel. And he was not very flexible, but he was very funny and very, very cool. He was so cute. And Croissant was more yin. She was white mostly too, with green eyes, but she had like a caramel and a little bit like chocolatey marks on her. And they were my life. Like, I went up every day from the 5th to the 6th, and I had my dolls, things that I used to feed my dolls with, you know, the baby bottles, which I pierced and put water and baby formula from the pharmacy. And I used to feed my kittens with my dolls' biberons. And then they used to climb up on my shoulders, each of them, and they used to, like, with their paws, like, go like on my face like this here, and they used to try to drink milk from my ears, both of them, Croissant and Chocolat. And then I like got the, not permission, but I moved them to my bedroom where I was sleeping alone, and I had a balcony, and then they stayed sometimes on the balcony, but most of the time they were in my room. And I used to drive my bike every day to the store, like across the road from Jesus St. Mary's School, and I used to go to the library there, and I used to buy every magazine, like Picsou magazine. Picsou is Uncle Scrooge. And then Disney magazine, like Mickey, like Le Journal de Mickey, and then Donald magazine, and all like the bigger forms of all the Disney stuff every day, and all the posters of Hollywood. And I used to change the posters of my room around like every day, like minimum. And I obviously had like the biggest crush. Like, Take That was like the initiation phases of everything, of All and Everything. But then obviously, like, I was so in love with Brad Pitt and Nick Carter, then Aaron Carter with the Hanson brothers, and also, but I didn't really have a crush on the Hanson brothers. This is different. Then they made, like, after Take That and the Backstreet Boys came NSYNC, and there came Britney and the Justin, like, Sadness. And we hadn't even heard of Jennifer or Angelina back in the day when Brad just came out of the torture chambers. And Nick Carter, we didn't really know much about any of that stuff. But then there was Kevin too, that was cute in the Backstreet Boys. But that was that. And then obviously the Spice Girls, and then the boys in my class, not in my class, but in other colleges, like the Jesuit schools, used to like judge me and go, because at some point that was the Britney Spears like phase. I used to wear a lot of metallic gray eyeliner and like silver clothes at that, like the Britney Spears phases, and they like would call me Britney, like they would. And that was when they launched the song Oops, I Did It Again. And my so-called boyfriend of the epochs, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was my neighbor too, and he came to my house, and one night we just like splashed ketchup on all the cars of the neighbors downstairs, and he was very funny. And I don't think we ever made out. We did nothing. Like, I was very, you know, very like just a very saintly, holy person always. But the most we did was one time I took him to my country club, where I took Billy Hodge too. And he was like in the water, and I was showering, and he was like lusting over me with his eyes, and it was like a lot. And then the Lara Croft person that they used to do the movies, she was my best friend at the time, and I'm not gonna tell you what we did together either, because that's none of your business. But we did go to Ishtar, which they discontinued the building of. Now, then they killed Croissant. Chocolat stayed with me like a long time. And then, since those cats, the next one was Poussette. Poussette was by Raw. So he was a Los Angeles authority that landed from LA, and I met him at a rave